back to today's edition, solving vertex form to standard form. We're going to take a look at a couple things. We got Gemma, or maybe you've heard of PEMDAS. Either way, we're going to look at this. We are going to group some stuff together. So we're going to take care of the parentheses first. Okay. Then we're going to take care of our exponent, which is this piece. Then we will multiply, and then we will add. All right, so let's take a look. Here's how this goes. First thing we want to do is we are going to evaluate this piece right here using our box. So I'm going to put x plus 7 here, x plus 7 there. And now I'm going to multiply x times x squared, 7 times x, 7x, 7 times x, 7x. And 7 times 7 is 49. Okay? So now we're going to do this. We're going to write it this way. So we have y equals 2. And then in parentheses, we're going to put this information right here. So all of this is going to go right there. Okay, so what we have is we have x squared, and then if I add these two guys together, because that's what we got to do here, we got to add, all right, I get 14x, and then my plus 49. Okay, but then I still have this k value, so I'm going to put this plus 5 here on the end. All right. So we still kind of have parentheses going on here, so we're going to take care of what we call distribute, right? We're going to distribute to our parentheses. All right. So it's going to look like this: 2 times x squared. Well, that's just 2x squared. 2 times 14x. That's going to be 28x. And 2 times 49, I don't remember. I've slept since then. So let's take a look. I don't know what 2 times 49 is. 2 times 49, 98. And then I'm just going to bring him down. Plus 5. All right. So now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add our like terms, because we have like terms. This guy is like terms with him. And so otherwise I have y equals 2x squared plus 28x. And then if we take 98 and add 5 to that, we get 103. So there is my answer. All right, let's look at another one. Here we go. I'm going to distribute again. So I'm going to use my box. Oh, I don't have a box. I'm going to draw a box. All right, so we're going to take this piece right here and put them down here. So I have x minus 8. X minus 8. X times x, x squared. Negative 8x. Negative 8x. Negative 8 times negative 8, positive 64. You're multiplying still. Alright, so now we're going to come over here, and we're going to write y equals our 1/2. And then in parentheses, we're going to put our combination of this guy right here. Right, he's going to go right there. And so that is x squared. If I add these two guys together, negative 8 and negative 8, that's going to be negative 16x, and then my plus 64. And then, of course, I want to write my minus 30 on the end. All right, so we're going to distribute the 1/2 to everything, and then 1/2 times x squared, put them together. 1/2 times negative 16, you type that in, negative 8x. Half of 64, I don't know. I think that's 32, but I don't know. 64 times 1 over 2. Yeah, 32. Okay, cool. 32. So plus 32, and then we're going to bring down our minus 30. So again, we have like terms right here and right here. My 32 minus 30, well, that's just going to be a positive 2. So my final answer is y is equal to 1/2 x squared minus 8x plus 2. How do I know if I'm right? Well, how do you know if you're right? That's a good question. How do you know if you're right? Well, you can check it. What do you mean check it? I mean, if I type this answer, this question, okay, I get a line like that, right? Here it is. Now, if I type this, I get the same line. And that's how I know that it's the same, because one's sitting on top of the other. So I know they're equivalent. All right, let's take a look at page 2. Here we go, page 2. All right, so I got a function right here, and it can be written in standard form, so it would look like this, but we want to know what the k value is. Oh, well, I just want to know what this guy right here is. We want to solve for k. So what is going to be the number here? All I want is a numerical value. Okay, so here's what we got. Well, we have f of x equal to negative 5x plus 1 squared plus 2. And I'm going to use my box for the x plus 1 part. X squared, positive 1x, and 1 times 1 is 1. So then, right, this becomes f of x. Actually, I'm going to write it down here. That way I have a little bit more room. F of x is equal to negative 5, and then in parentheses, I'm going to put my x squared and all that good stuff with my 1x. All right, so this becomes x squared. And this becomes positive 2x, and then my plus 1. And then I have my plus 2 out here. All right, so we distribute again. Negative 5x squared, negative 5 times 2, negative 10x, negative 5 multiplied with 1, negative 5, and bring down our positive 2. And when I combine like terms, right, we're going to combine these two guys, and this gives me f of x is equal to negative 5x squared minus 10x minus 3. But all we really care about is what is k, and k is negative 10. So my answer is negative 10. All right, the next one's very similar to that. We'll take a look at it real quick, so that way you have another good example. So here we go. We have f of x equals negative 1 over 4 x plus 12 squared. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to use our box. And so we have x plus 12, x plus 12, x squared, 12x, 12x, 144. And so now I will take this and put it over in that section that I need it to be in. So now this becomes f of x equals -1/4. And then in parentheses, I don't know if I'm going to have enough room. X squared plus 24x plus 144. Hold on, let me rewrite this. I should have written this down here again as well. F of x equals -1/4 x squared plus 24x plus 144. And so now we will distribute -1/4 x squared. I don't know what that is, so let's just do this. Get rid of that, get rid of that. -1 divided by 4, multiply with 24, it's -6. And then multiply it with 144. -36. And my final answer is going to be whatever this value is, right? Because we have that piece, we have that piece. We want to know what k is, and k is just -6. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.